Lieutenant Edward James has never commanded a ship before, but he has had a good education beforehand, allowing him to start his career with a single skill point. He will have to earn 2,000 experience in battle to earn another point, and the amount of experience increases for each point that he earns. Looking at the first tier of abilities, we are given a choice between basic firing training and basics of survivability. Lieutenant James will have to choose one of these skills before he can continue to subsequent tiers. After some thought, he decides to get basic firing training to improve his secondary armament and anti-air capabilities. Spending this point allows the second tier of abilities to be selected. However, this tier requires 2 skill points to unlock. Confident in his abilities, Lieutenant James sets off on his very first mission. In his first mission, Lieutenant James notices he is one of only a few Tier 1 ships, while the majority of both teams is Tier 2. He drives the Erie class cruiser. It has average stats, which is to be expected for a Tier 1 ship. The Erie has a maximum range of 9.6 kilometers, with armor-piercing shells dealing up to 2,200 damage, the same as high explosive. Having a top speed of 21 knots and a 300-meter turning radius allows the Erie to be relatively mobile, but its 9,900 health can disappear quickly, especially against higher-tiered enemies. The Japanese Tier 1 ship, the Katori, on the other hand, has a range of 10.5 kilometers. Its high explosive shells can do 2,700 damage, while its armor piercing does 2,200. It has a top speed of 18 knots and has a 420-meter turning radius. Probably the biggest difference, however, is its 17,900 health, a large amount more than the Erie class. Sailing northeast towards the enemy, Lieutenant Edward James closes the distance to the enemy cruisers. The incoming torpedoes set off alarms, but the ship is in no real danger. The Erie is then rocked by incoming shots from an enemy cruiser leaving the smokescreen. The first salvo sets the ship on fire, which Lieutenant James orders extinguished. The Erie is able to avoid most of the next incoming salvo, but an enemy shell still tears through the steering mechanism, causing the ship to begin to spin in place. Lieutenant James orders all guns to fire at will, while the repair team struggles to repair the damaged steering. Despite the maneuvering, the ship is set on fire again and the steering rebroken. When the ship cracks in half, Lieutenant James is thrown into the water where he spends the rest of the battle. Landing only 17 shots and ending up in second to last place for experience earned, the lieutenant was forced to purchase the next ship out of his own pay. Thanks for watching, and if you liked what you saw, please click subscribe below.